Hello, everyone.
Welcome to the Queers of Time podcast.
I'm Matt.
I'm James.
I'm Kenny.
And I'm Kat.
And this is a podcast to talk about all the gay stuff in the Wheel of Time.
Because we're gay and we like the Wheel of Time.
As always, thank you to our feral venerators of swearing. 1 second. It's coming to me. Charlie, Lurks, and John. Thank you.
Yay!
Thank you very much for the support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And to all of our other patrons that we don't name by name.
Thank you, everybody.
We appreciate all of you.
Yes. In today's episode, we talk about the hotly awaited three-way between Matt, Galad, and Gawyn. Or the three-way sword fight. Sword, staff fight. It was very phallic either way. And other things happen too. So you can join us on Queers of Time as we talk about Red Ajah drama, the Black Ajah shutting down tiled weddings, and everyone's favorite pocket-sized Forsaken, Sammy Shortcakes. All in Season 3, Episode 3, Seeds of Shadow.
Yay!
Yay!
Sammy Shortcakes.
Sammy Shortcakes.
We got a Forsaken social as a cold open.
Yes. Oh my god.
I was so happy. My note here is, oh, thank God we know he's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because
Because that was going to be, I was wondering how long it would take for that particular reveal. I am so glad that they did not waste any time with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we got enough to know, like, how deep the compulsion is and how strong the compulsion is. And then right at the beginning of the next episode, they were like, guess what?
Just for that, I'm happy that Amazon released 3 episodes at once, because for all of the show, only folks would have finished episode 2 and then had to wait a week before finding out that Gabriel was Ravin and a bad guy. And I'm thinking about all of the book readers who probably wouldn't have been able to stay silent about
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that he is, like, apparently really, really good at compulsion. Like, I don't remember in the books.
He was doing a lot of compulsion on Morgaze, but mostly only on Morgaze.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, like, it just goes to show how strong the Forsaken are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're making the Forsaken more well-rounded, if that makes any sense. Like, they're making it they don't just have one thing, like one thing,
Right.
Like they do kind of, like, we know that Lanfear is very, very partial to dreams and whatnot, but like they also are they're just overall powerful. Like they're, you know what I mean? Which I think is a very good move. And they're much scarier. They're scary.
And they're very powerful, but they also keep bickering with one another, which is kind of comforting, because you really feel like if those very powerful people could just get their shit together at some point and work together, we would be doomed. But since they freaking can't, maybe we have a chance.
They all hate each other so much.
They do.
They are working together because they essentially, and I say working in the loosest of senses. Like, it's only because they have no other choice. They are bound together, quite literally bound together.
The tension between Samael and Lanfear.
Oh my god.
Ravin felt bad, and Ravin were like, oh, we really didn't learn anything. Like, he had to break that tension, because it was like, maybe I'm gonna be a witness to another murder here.
It's like, guys, do we really, like, we just spent 3,000 years. Can we try this time? Can we just try this time?
Robin's like, can we please fucking chill? And then the look on Lanfear's face when Robin drops, is it Robin or Samael who drops that, like, oh yeah, we've been chatting with Grendel and also Cimarron.
Robin.
Is it Robin? The way that Lanfear's face just drops, she's like, oh fuck.
she tried to, get those tiny alliances within the Forsaken, and Ravin was like, yeah, fuck that.
Ravin was like,
Yeah.
fuck that shit.
I think his exact line is like, I'll bring this to the others. And Lanfear's like, who the fuck are you talking about?
She's like, I'm sorry.
He also said, like, Grendel and Semirac sent their regard. They were kind of sad that you did not invite it.
I was like, what an ass, what a petty bitch. It was so good, though.
My God, they're messy.
They're so messy. But also, like, when Moghedien shows up and talked to Ravin, I was like, are they gonna kiss? Because I wondered.
It's everything. It's that entire cold open was exactly what I wanted them to do with the Forsaken. This is exactly how I wanted the Forsaken to be. They're both showing how extraordinarily powerful and manipulative and how deep they are in whatever things they have going on. But also at their core, they are co-workers who absolutely fucking hate each other. It's like, that's what it is.
No. I like how the reason for bringing them all together, Lanfear's reason, was Moghedien. And I'm like, why wouldn't you bring Grendel and Semirog into this?
This is what I'm saying.
I think she felt like she could manipulate the boys easier because
That's true.
Moghedien is not really a threat to Lanfear. She's a threat to Rand, and Lanfear is working with Rand.
Yeah, because she knows, like, Semirog, I mean, you're not... you're not doing anything. You're not manipulating Semirog any kind of way, nor Grendel, quite frankly. So I think she was trying to... she tried something and it failed disastrously.
Also, where is the actor that plays Samael from?
Scotland.
Is he? Because his accent is hilarious to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very, very deeply Scottish accent.
Yeah, very heavy Scottish.
He looks good. I like the costume and the kind of...
like the bone armor?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I'm into it. We saw... Can we talk about that?
We saw traveling.
We saw traveling.
Yeah, we saw traveling, yeah. The weaves for that looked good. I mean, I forgot what was the name of traveling, so I just wrote, I saw portal weaves, looks good.
I mean...
The portal weaves.
The portal weaves.
I mean, that's gonna be show only people are gonna call that.
You know what? You are not incorrect. It is not incorrect. That's exactly what they are. They're portal weaves.
Since you were talking about Samael accent, I do want to mention, because that's something I keep noticing in that show, I freaking love the diversity of accent in this show. We've talked about like diversity of background and this kind of thing, but it keeps showing up in the accent too. I just freaking love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's great. Very, very good. Oh my god.
Anything else about the Forsaken social?
I did. I just like to imagine Moghedien as Lanfear is absolutely fucking roasting her, just talking all this shit about her, and Moghedien was just there, listening to everything.
A coward? Me?
as she moves from her hiding place. I love it.
Ravin Maria, she has to say you were smart.
Yeah. Trying to soothe her. Oh my god, it's so good.
I love that little freak.
Oh.
See, when we talk with Rafe about the dial for Lanfear and like Moghedien, it's a psychotic one.
Psychotic.
For Raven, I'm curious whether it's like a charming one.
I assumed it would be like a creepy meter.
Oh, yeah, could be.
But he hasn't been creepy so far. He's been charming in a...
Daddy meter?
Did you say daddy meter?
The daddy meter.
Yeah, maybe.
God.
And I'm curious what it was for a Shamael, like I don't know, like a Nietzsche meter?
Yeah, probably.
Gay caresses meter.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we'll talk about this more in the book spoiler section of this episode. Oh, by the way, this is going to be a show, as always, it'll be a show-friendly episode, and then we'll get into book spoilers.
Yes.
But in the book spoilers, we'll talk more about we have 7 named Forsaken right now, and I think there's going to be 8 in total, so...
We'll talk later on, yeah.
Well, let's get on to past the cold open.
All right.
do we want to go straight into the White Tower and the Hounds, which is what I'm calling that plot line, the Hounds?
The detective agency is on their way.
It is open. The Almira Trakand Detective Agency is open for business. We're ready.
Yes.
So we have Joya and Amiko who are captured.
Mm-hmm.
And I just have to say, Nynaeve and Elaine think that they're hot shit, but they are such bad interrogators. Like, they think they're like, we can lie. We got this.
We've got this.
It's okay. Varen, you can't lie. We can lie. We got this. And then they go in there and they're like, just tell us stuff, please.
Yeah. Can you just pretty please?
Where's Leandrin going?
just tell us.
But, okay, to their, it's not advantage, it's not benefit, but to their, I don't know,
credit?
To their defense, I would say, to their credit, that's the word.
Mm-hmm.
Nynaeve knew that everything they were saying was bullshit.
She did.
So, in a way, like, if they're mentioning a city, that's definitely not where you're gonna go. Elaine wasn't entirely, like, sure, like, didn't really understand that at first, but, I mean, I did think that Nynaeve was smart with, like, figuring out where, like, digging directly into Leandrin's situation to figure out.
Yeah, because she makes the connection that it's not in what they said. It's not in what they said, it's what they didn't say. That's what they need to be focusing on.
Yeah.
And also, like, because she's again reminded by Elaine that her and Leandrin did have a special kind of connection, bond, whatever you want to call it. And she's like, oh, we need to be focusing on Leandrin. We don't need, like, forget what they're saying. What they're saying is bullshit. We need to focus on Leandrin and what's happening with her. And Nynaeve knows Leandrin, or at least knows Leandrin enough to glean sort of where to go from here. And so it was clumsy. It was a very clumsy first attempt. I think also they were still like, or at least Nynaeve was still kind of mad at Elaine at this time because it was not too long after, and so they were still kind of not. At least Nynaeve was not happy with Elaine. And so I wouldn't be surprised if that also played a part in their strategy because they were not like, united necessarily, I think.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I like that Nynaeve thought about going where she saw Leandrin's son. Of course, there was nothing left, but some child symbol. It is kind of where the fact that it's Nynaeve becomes important because I don't think a lot of sisters knew about Leandrin's son.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone knew about Aludrin.
I don't think anyone knew. Yeah.
Moraine did mention, like in season 1, that she
knew.
knew that there was a man in North Harbor, but
I don't even think Moraine knew specifically who he was. Like she knew of his existence, but she didn't know, and she knew of his existence and that he was important to Leandrin somehow. But she didn't know. I don't think she knew the specifics of it,
I just think, and I'm not going to say it's lazy, but it's convenient that symbol was there.
Yes.
Yeah, but, I mean, in the books, it's even sillier how they end up going to...
I can't even remember.
Neither do I.
I don't either.
I mean, I don't remember whether it was in book 2 or, like, there's a moment in book 3 where, like, they have to go somewhere and the way they being told to go somewhere is by one of the Forsaken literally putting some, like, an object of that place in a specific, like...
That's right.
It's like the books takes even... lazier, I think, sometimes. Not really lazy, but things that would be obviously a trap, except for Nynaeve and Elaine.
Yeah.
So I don't really mind the show doing something like that.
Yeah.
Because what we care in the end is figuring out that they need to go to Tenchiko and actually going to Tenchiko. The part, like what happened in this episode with them, like, talking with Amiko and Joya and figuring out where Leandrin is going and what's her plan, it's interesting, but it's never going to be as interesting as them actually being in Tenchiko and, like, seeing shit there. So I'm fine with taking shortcuts there.
Yeah. I also think it was to illustrate Leandrin's 2 blind spots right now. And the first one being her son, and the second one being Nynaeve. because she has gone out of her way to not cause any specific harm to Nynaeve. She is, or at least more, she's gone more out of her way than she's done for anyone else. She's shown more concern, and I think Nynaeve even recognizes that. Like I think she actually says, like, I put it in my notes too. I think she was trying to help me. Like and she says, and I know for sure that she loved her son. And so those are the two realizations I think that Nynaeve has that bring her to like, oh, okay, I know what to do with this now, with this information.
Right.
So, like, it's like, yes, it's very obvious, it's very clumsy, but like to us, but also nobody else knows to look there. Like no one else would have a reason to look here. And Nynaeve is really the only person who would potentially.
Yeah. I think Leandrine has an even bigger blind spot, which is like whenever there's a young woman in a desperate situation, Leandrine just loses all rationality. We see that later on in the episode when we finally see Tenchiko and the Black Ajah sisters there. I mean, it's hard to hate Leandrine sometimes. Because yes, they do kill a bunch of people. They basically barge into a wedding ceremony between a child and a very older man.
It's a child wedding. It's
a child wedding. I'm like, look, do everyone in this room need it to die? I don't know, but I also can't blame you, really, either.
Yeah. In Leandrine's eyes, they were all complicit in this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They were.
She's like, you're here, you're watching this, you're observing it, you're allowing it by being here. So you are also like you get the same exact fate. I can't be mad at her for that.
Yeah.
Maybe wiping someone's mind clean, maybe not the best thing to do, Sue.
Yes. Yes. But like I think it's actually what Leandrine wishes could be done to her. In a way, like I think it's what I think Leandrine is thinking of this young girl, as if she were she was in her position, and she's thinking of what she would have wanted someone to do for her, and that would be to take it all away.
When she's painting the symbol, and you get a little bit of flashback to young Leandrine, that's rough.
Yeah, and and this is the thing. Like I've seen some people comment on like, oh, like they're using sexual assault as the reasoning for like a woman's bad behavior, or like, like being evil or whatever the case is. It's Leandrine's reason for turning to the dark is very specifically not that. Yeah. It's to protect her son. It's because she loves her son. That is the reason. And like, I'm sure there are other like sort of reasons that branch off from that, but that is the overarching reason. And
so she loved her only begotten son.
Exactly. That's right. Exactly. Not to get biblical, but,
Yep. I think we can mention a little bit Elaine and Nynaeve figuring out about the object that the Black Ajah sister stole.
Yeah, the male Adam.
The male Adam that we see Leandrine and Naomi talking a bit about at the end of the episode. Also, Moghedien is listening softly from the shadow.
Because of course she is. Of course she is.
I do think it's interesting to see that object. I do not love it.
No, it's bad. And they do, because I think we were talking about it before, they very specifically say too that it's one part of the object. There is a second part that has not been found.
They need to find the color.
Yes, exactly. And we were wondering if like what that would look like visually, and we got the answer this episode. There's a second part to it. Yeah. It's not the full thing. So
I saw Elaine and Nynaeve got attacked by a grey man.
Yep.
So it's officially 0 days since Elaine got a concussion.
That's right.
Aww.
That's right. Oh, Elaine.
Poor Elaine.
Poor Elaine.
And yeah, and Verin talks to them, and then they decide to go to Tenchiko, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. who do we want to move on to next?
I have Elida next.
Exactly. I was going to say, do we want to stay in the White Tower and do Elida and her shenanigans?
I'm very curious about about Elida's weird phantom hand and the bracelet that she has.
Yeah.
They pointed out that bracelet twice, so
Yes.
it's definitely important.
Like, is it a gift from Robin?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm curious where it comes from. I'm curious for how long has she... I think we see her with it in the coronation scene in episode 2. So she may have had it for a long time. But there's definitely more background on that. I'm curious what we'll see on this. I'm curious whether it's related to foretelling because Min asked about that. So I don't know. We'll see.
By the way, I love that scene between Elida and Min, talking about her talking about the burden that comes to seers. Yeah, like people who see the future and what foretell and everything like that. And it's just, I like, I know people are conflicted about this and are like, no, I don't want Elida to be competent. I want a good character though.
Yeah.
I want a well-rounded character. I get it. I get what you're saying, but like, I want an interesting character, and they are giving us an interesting character, I think, anyway.
Yeah, she's definitely interesting for sure.
I loved the entire scene. Like, I didn't think we were going to get a mention of Elida's foretellings, but we kind of did. And that was really nice. I wish we had gotten a little bit more of it, actually, because in the books, it's just a little bit more of a big deal that she has foretellings. And
we might. Who knows?
Yeah, but it feels kind of a big deal here, because she's basically... So that scene kind of reminded me to the scene in the previous episode where Brand is saying, I also have nightmares. I feel like Elida being, I'm also a seer, to mean who constantly see visions, kind of give off the same vibe.
Right.
But it's a very good intro to her foretellings and how she's kind of manipulating the world to make them happen in the way she wants them to happen. And we'll see whether that's a good thing or not later on. But I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah. And she knew, I think she knew from the beginning that Min was placed there specifically to spy on Elida. Like, she makes it very obvious that, like, oh, I know what they're doing. It's fine. I
think we can come back to that a little bit, because I think we should mention two things. That scene between Liane and Verin and Elida. I was hoping, and I saw other people hoping, that we would get to see Shora Agdashlu and Mira Sial in a scene together, and I was so delighted. It was so good.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
Oh my god.
It was the tension.
The contrast between Liana, who freaking hates Elida, and Verin smooth talking about Torah procedures and the sister versus sitter thing. The tension there was so freaking high.
It was three women with conflicting motivations. Like they all and all have their own like different things that they are trying to achieve right now. But they're like, and they're also like sure of themselves, and there's so much like it's just like tension. Like the tension is really the only way to describe it. Like it was a battle of wills and nobody was winning. Because they were all kind of here, and it's just like no one was really coming out on top, and so it was just kind of at a I don't know what to call it, standstill. Yeah,
it's really like the political aspects of those books at its best. We see that also, like, I was not expecting the tension in the red quarters, like the Red Ajah quarters. Like, Tsutsama do not like Elida.
No.
It really gave the vibe of, Tsutsama and Galina are kind of the new generation of Red Ajah. And then there's the old generation coming back and kind of expecting everything to follow along what they're saying. And then you have the young folks who are like, you've been away for a while, sister. Things have changed. And I fully understand Tsutsama too, because like they basically, like their reputation took a hit with Liandrin. So they're trying to fix that And then there's Elida shows up, and everyone knows how the tension is between Swan and Elida. So I could see, I can see the highest of the Red being like, oh, fuck me.
Yeah, they were bracing for it. They knew she was going to start some shit. And she, and of course, she tries first to be sweet and give the illusion of sweetness and the illusion of care and sincerity. And none of those things describe Elida. Elida is none of those things. But she tries it because she's like, well, maybe.
She tries, but also what she tries to give to Tsutama really isn't Tsutama's style. So it's like, yes, you're trying to give a gift in order to get something from them, but you don't even pay attention. You pay attention a little bit with Galina regarding the strawberry, but apparently you didn't pay attention about the highest of the Red at all, because that was like...
I loved that so much.
So good.
Tsutama must be from Randland's equivalent of the South, because oh, this is too gaudy. Why don't you keep it? It would look good on you. It's
it suits you.
It's such a southerner passive aggressive dig.
Yeah, it's so good. And you can see Elida doing she's like, okay, I need to readjust here. I need to do some more calculations. This is not going to work. You can see the moment where Elida's like, I need to get her out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
I can't have her here. She needs to not be here. Otherwise, what I have planned is never going to work. And I think she also realizes that Galina?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Galina, yeah. For a second, I was like, Galinda? I've been listening to Wicked too much.
Glinda the Good Witch?
Yeah.
Galina tops.
Very much. Galinda tops.
Glinda pinks.
I don't think Galina and Elida are gonna sing. Wait, what's this?
What is this feeling?
No, not
Defying Gravity.
The For Good.
For Good, yeah, no, definitely not.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. But she also clocks, I think, that Galina, she's like, I can work with her. She is someone that I can work with. But Tsutama, she's like, no. She's gotta...
Yeah.
You gotta get her out of the way.
And Elida, what she's trying to do is to get the Tao to vote on sending people to Cage Band.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And she realizes that the highest of the Red is never going to call for a vote like that because it is not the time, and Tsutama is right. So
Yes.
Elida kind of smartly managed to get rid of Tsutama, and I'm kind of mad that they fell into this with, Elida tell Min that she knows Min is spying for Verin and Liana. She then tells Min that please do not repeat that, which fully means that you're going to repeat that, right? And then she's like, oh, the highest of the Red want to call a vote from the hall, a vote that Swan, essentially, the Amenitine, will lose.
Mm-hmm.
And it works perfectly because next time we see Tsutama, Liane shows up in the Red Quarter and ask her to go after mastering time, which is indeed a good mission for her. But the way it happens, that's going to benefit Elida a lot.
Yeah, throughout the entire episode with Elida, I was just like, Elida is really, really fucking good at political maneuvering.
She is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She is, and I mean, I think part of, at least for what we're seeing with the show, the reason that Swan and Elida do not like each other at all, they are more similar than they would like to admit. Elida is also very, very good at manipulating people and getting them to do what she wants them to do. It's just that the difference, I think, is that with Swan, there's more of a warmth there. There is at least more of a genuine care, I think, or a baseline care. Elida doesn't give a fuck. She doesn't care. She does not care about collateral damage. She doesn't care who ends up losing out in the end. It means nothing to her. She cares about getting what she wants. And I think that's where the difference lies. But Elida, she is frighteningly good at maneuvering things just the way that she wants them.
Yeah. But Tsutama knows that Elida is responsible, so I'm curious whether that'll play a role later on. Probably not this season, because I'm not sure I expect Susama to show up again this season.
I doubt it. Yeah.
I winced a little bit at Liana. I followed the rats. Because do you really want to say that kind of thing when you're like basically supposed to be the second? Like you're the keeper of the Chronicle of the White Tower. You should be impartial. Yes. And now you're clearly showing disrespect toward all of the Red Ajah.
Yeah.
In their own house. Liana comes into their own quarters, into their own section, and blatantly disrespects them. My jaw dropped.
It was messy.
I was like,
it was messy.
It was very, very messy.
So that's gonna have consequences.
It's like all of this, like it's so well done. It's so well done. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I think it was a mistake on Liana's part. Not on the writing part, not on the writer's part, of course, but I think, yeah, she's a badass. Sometimes situations do not call for badassness. And sometimes if you try to be a badass too much, it backfires in certain ways. Just saying.
Yeah, like Liana is barely withholding her contempt for Elida.
Yes.
And that's rubbing off on the Red Ajah as a whole.
But the thing is that it's not even the first time it happens, because they also like push away the Red Ajah from the hole in the first episode, and the Red Sisters are still reading from that. So it's like, after the Leandrin thing, considering how many Black Sister was in every Ajah, the smartest thing would have been to find a way to
work with every Ajah.
Yeah, like work with the Red Ajah, because like they're part of the tower, and we know that there's corruption in all of the towers. So maybe let's not alienate a full eighth of the tower, or seventh. I don't remember how many Ajah there is. And yeah, it's messy. It's gonna have consequences. I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah, and also Elida makes sure to remind them, like, you let them keep you out of that room that you are supposed to be in.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not by the way, you were barred from doing that. It's like, no, you let that happen.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Because they should have been in there, and they knew that they should have been in there, but she's absolutely right. They let it happen. So
yeah, they could have fought a little bit more for that. By the way.
Oof.
Anything to say about the Red? Because I think if not, the next part would probably be to finish with the White Tower and talk about Matt.
Yeah.
I don't have any notes on Matt.
I have things about Matt. I love every scene with Matt and Min.
Yeah.
Great, yes.
It's funny. It's nice to see them still have some anger, like justified anger from season 2, and both trying to apologize to one another, with Min trying first and Matt rejecting that, and then Matt going to see Min to apologize. There's like Min still having some viewing, and not like Matt do not want to hear about them. But I also like that they start to have this conversation about how we can use those curses for a good thing. And it was really important for Matt to hear that, because that's what he does with the quarterstaff scene. Yeah. And I loved that scene.
I liked it a lot too. So just to talk about Matt and Min just for a second, like, I think it was a really smart idea. So I remember at first when they tied Matt to Min in season 2, right? I was confused. I didn't see the vision. I didn't get it. I get it now.
Yeah.
It's working really well for both of their characters.
Their chemistry is so good. Like, the actors' chemistry is good, but and like the way that they make up is great. But like, poor Min, like, she just made up with her friend, and then she sees him hanging from a rope, and she's like, shit.
Yeah.
And the red doorway was behind it, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Galad obviously interrupts them, because Galad is an absolute prick who needs to be there to save the girl when the girl, like, twice says they don't need his help. And also, like, when Matt is basically training with the quarterstaff, and they have like Gawyn and Galad to make fun of him, like, you didn't need to do that. That was just rude. I'm happy that Matt beat their ass.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I do have notes on Matt. Never mind.
I was just going to say, I'm surprised Galad didn't say "milady" when he was trying to rescue Min.
Oh, I would have loved it if he did. I would have loved it. Because I think Min may have stabbed him. That may have ended differently. You know?
She should have.
I also have notes on Tenchiko and the Black Ajah.
Oh. Well, look at you. Look at you.
Well, no, it's just I have 3 pages of notes and I was only looking at 2 pages of them.
Oh, I see.
Oh, okay.
No, I know that Rafe said that to him, the fight with Matt, Galad, and Gawyn was not iconic in his mind when he was reading through the books, but like he definitely, and that just like goes to show like how good of a showrunner he is, because he made it an iconic, like he took a moment in the books that he didn't like or care for that other people love, and he made it as iconic in the show as people perceive it to be in the books.
Yeah.
It's great.
It was very well done.
I really love that it's about this farm boy who's being picked on by those 2 princes, or 2 lords. And I also love that Nynaeve was there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, because she's so proud of him there.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can see there's a few cuts to her face during the fight. Very beautiful fight, by the way. Like the song, the music at the beginning was the same music that when he blew the horn, I think. And that was a good moment. Like when you see Matt with his quarterstaff thinking about how to channel this hero of the past in a way, and Nynaeve being a little bit scared for him at first, and then figure out, oh, he get it, and yeah, I don't know. It was a beautiful moment between all of them. Yeah,
I agree. Were you gonna say something, James?
It's not really a book spoiler, but in the books the quarterstaff scene happens in front of a lot of people. And I was sad it didn't happen in front of a lot of people, because a lot of the fun part of that scene, for me at least in the books, is that it is embarrassing for Gawyn and Galad. And I think it's less embarrassing because it just happens in front of Nynaeve.
Right. I think some of that may have been remedied because like they were trying to be these like stupid gallant, like, oh, is he bothering you? Like, you know, like they were trying to be all like, you know, and so I think it like Nynaeve very, very much rejecting that, like, and saying like, fuck you. Like, what?
I think them getting their asses whipped in front of the women they, quote, tried to save is probably more embarrassing for them than like losing in front of a crowd. Not to like, because it would have been satisfying to have the crowd too, but like,
yes.
Nynaeve saying, no, I don't need your help. I don't need saving. This is my little brother. He's a shit. I'm dealing with him. He's not yours to deal with. And then her just like smirking as he kicks their ass. Like it was so satisfying.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah. I think they're both like I like that they're tying together Nynaeve and Matt as well. Because I think it's at a time where they both need sort of their self-worth to be brought up. Like they're, like Nynaeve is struggling with her block, and she's struggling with how she's fitting into this story and what she can bring to everything, because she is currently not able to channel. And Matt obviously is coming off of, all of the stuff from last season and whatnot. And they're both trying to figure things out. And it's really sweet that they have each other. And they're they're each other's emotional support and that reminder of home, I think, too. That sort of comfort. And Nynaeve's face watching Matt kick their asses was just delightful. She was so proud. She was so proud.
One thing that made me wince a little bit is that he mentioned Leandrin's name a little bit too loud. So since like Nynaeve, Matt, Elaine, and Min, who's following them, are all going to Tenchiko for that. Don't know how I feel about the brothers having some ideas that Leandrin is related to all of that.
Yeah, Matt's not very bright.
No, he's...
He didn't even pick his money, so...
Yeah,
that's true.
Well, That's Matt.
I don't know if you guys mentioned this because I was trying to find my Matt notes, but there was a line in there about Matt saying, "Can I get a lock installed?" And then Min says, "Yeah, I'll bring it up with management."
Yes.
I love Min. Min is so like
I love her.
She's so quick with her response like that, and it's so funny every single time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so funny to watch Min walk this very sort of fine line between like, yes, you're my friend and I want you to forgive me, but also you're so fucking stupid and annoying, actually. Like, it's just, she's constantly struggling between the two. And so she's like, yeah, okay, I'm sorry, but also can you stop being so stupid, please?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
When Matt, like when Min mentions the memories and Matt say, "How do you know that?" And Min is like, "You told the bloody novices in the tower and half the Aes Sedai."
You've been running your mouth the entire time you've been here.
That's the thing. It's like, Matt has been just broadcasting everything. And that's exactly, it's the same thing that Swan was trying to tell him too in the last episode. Like, my guy, you have got to keep a lid on things. Like, please, for your safety.
Is there anything else we want to say about the White Tower, or should we move to Eyes of the Waste or the Two Rivers?
I'm just glad that Min is joining Matt, Elaine, and Nynaeve.
Me too.
Like,
yeah.
And then I had a couple of things on my Tenchiko Black Ajah notes very quickly. Mm-hmm. The outfit changes from the Black Ajah were really awesome.
Oh my god, yeah.
Liandrin was the only one with a veil, which I think was interesting.
Mm-hmm. And then Liandrin's hair got so fucking big. The humidity in Tenchiko must be something else.
Yeah.
Can't really go to the beach and tan there.
Listen, there's a reason why I have short hair, and it's because of that. No, but like, I as a kid, people were calling me Aslan. You know, the lion.
No.
So yeah,
oh no.
Short hair.
Oh wow. Oh my god.
And then Moghedien posing as a servant at the very end was great.
Excellent.
Oh god, I love her. I love my little freak.
Just as a, you know, we've kind of talked about it already. When Liandrin pulled out that man's heart with the one,
yeah,
that was great.
It was so good, but I was like, excuse me.
I loved it.
Okay, it was perfect. It was excellent. It really put a very like it. This is why she was doing this. Like they made it very obvious, like, you know, her motivation behind things. So yeah.
Do we want to go to the waste?
Sure.
I love the wise ones. I love the idea. So we got Bear.
Yeah, and Melaine.
And Melaine. I love the line, and who are these wise ones? That's just wise ones' business.
Yes. We got that a couple of times, I think, this episode.
Yeah, I mean, it was twice in a row. It's like, what were you doing here? That's wise one's business. Who are these wise ones? That's wise one's business.
That's wise one's business.
That was so funny.
Yeah, it's very good.
We saw a whole caravan of Tuathans murdered by speared, faked as swords. With a little mention of the lost ones. That was, it's their own fault that they're dead. I do not really like the Tuathan, apparently.
Apparently.
The Aiel hate the Tuathan.
Yes. They are not about that. We got a mention of the Shido. Which, yeah.
I liked the line from Bear, or it might have been, is it Bear and Melaine?
Yes.
Bear and Melaine, yeah.
Yeah.
One of them said, if she can hurt you, then this woman in your dreams is alive. And I'm like, yep.
I think it was Bear. Yeah,
that was Bear's. Bear talked a few times with Egwene about dreaming. And yeah, she's the one who revealed to Egwene that whoever is strangling her is not a dead woman.
Right.
Yeah, and you could just see, like, Egwene being like, who the fuck is doing this to me then? Like,
right?
What is happening? And, like, and not just, like, because I mean, Egwene, I'm sure, assumed that, like, oh, these are just dreams that I'm having from my trauma. But now Egwene is like, this is something that someone is doing to me. They are causing this to happen. So yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be interesting.
And now she's gonna be pissed.
Oof.
Yeah,
Oof.
but there's a promise of teaching later on, and that's gonna be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when Egwene, I assume she's gonna figure it out, but when Egwene like figures out that it's Lanfear,
Oh my goodness.
that's gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Yeah.
We got a sweat tent.
Yes.
Did.
We got Moraine and Lan having just a horrible time in that tent.
They hate it so much.
Please give them a bath.
They're making it hotter. No.
They hate it so much.
And Melaine called Moraine a child
Yes, I live.
for asking about Radiant.
I live.
Listen,
She was shocked.
the woman was too stunned to speak.
Oh yeah, yeah. I still love how Wheel of Time is handling nudity, like non-sexual nudity in this show.
Oh my god, yeah.
Mhm.
It's still so good. Like they're all naked, and you
Yeah.
don't. I mean, I didn't really notice the first time nor the second time.
We didn't see any actual like boobs or anything else.
We do.
We do?
Oh.
Yeah, Melindra, we actually see literally her full boobs.
Oh. I see, and I didn't notice it.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's gay.
Yeah.
I mean, it was indeed like Lan and Moraine basically being like, okay, which one is she hitting on?
Yeah.
I think she's looking at you. I think she's looking at you.
Yes.
Lan being the best friend, like
Yeah.
you're allowed to be happy, you know. You could have a hookup for a night, that's fine.
Yeah.
The entire time I'm just like, Moraine, you aren't allowed to cheat on Suan.
Exactly.
Mm.
I was like, no.
I'm like, you guys are having a tiff right now.
Are they on a break?
They are not on a break.
They are not on a break. And then poor Moraine and Lan, they thinking that one of them is about to get lucky, and it's just like,
Yeah.
nope.
Well,
Well-
I think arguably Lan was quite happy.
Yeah, it's
with
true.
the outcome of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just not in the way maybe they thought. he might
Yeah,
be.
because we got some lore about Malkia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A very nice tattoo, by the way.
Mhm.
The golden crane.
The Golden Crane, yeah.
And some lore. I like that they mention that with the Addery and the Kissen, like as long as one man wears the Addery, as long as one woman
Mhm.
wears the Kissen, Malkia leaves. It really shows that their kingdom does not exist anymore, but he is still the king, and he
Mhm.
still has people that look up to him.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently he's not really handling it well because it's kind of something he puts in the past, and that's kind of over. And still, I think it's good to introduce that.
Yeah. I'm glad we're getting more of that with Lan, because I've been curious about what Lan's sort of story is going to be this season. And I think it's very obviously going to be something to do with Malkier, which I'm very happy about because I think it kind of has to be. I think it's good. Yeah. It's very sweet. I got like hearing when she was saying, like, you know, they were saying Malkier, like, as long as one man wears it, like, you know, and Malkier lives, I was like, oh, this is very sweet, actually.
Yeah.
I like this. Yeah.
I think my last thing that I had about the I Little Beast part was regarding Rand and Lanfear. Like,
Yes.
did Rand really brought Lanfear to his dream? Is Lanfear really doubting, or is it just an act? Is it all manipulation? I don't know.
I think it's both.
It's probably both.
I think it's both. I think she is manipulating him. She's fucking, like, I don't think fucking with him is necessarily the correct thing, because she's manipulating him.
Yes.
And so she's telling enough truth to get him to do what she wants, but that doesn't mean that she means him any harm.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Because her end goal is her and Rand together somewhere, alone.
Fucking.
With no one else's. Yes, exactly. That's what she wants.
Sometimes I'm just curious whether she actually sees Rand or if she only sees Lusterin.
Mm.
I think she sees both.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She also mentioned Sakarnan as a female song real, which is interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just like, I feel like Lanfear doesn't really give a shit what side she's on. Like, if someone told her, I guarantee you will get all the Rand bussy you want if you side with the light, she would find a way to break her dark vows.
I think that's probably true.
She wouldn't change as a person,
No.
I mean, she would just be like, slaughtering people, but not in the name of the Dark One, just in the name of Lanfear.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the biggest lie in a way, because she's making Rand believe that she can be a good person, and at the same time, she's definitely not, considering what she's doing to Egwene, like, in parallel.
Yeah.
Right, and she doesn't have a second thought about what she's doing to Egwene.
No.
Yeah.
No. She's, in fact, enjoying what she's doing to Gawyn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting.
That's all I had for the waste.
Same.
Me too.
So time to move to the Two Rivers, I guess.
And we go straight to Perrin burying his ring,
Oh my god.
I love it.
which is so sad.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was really sad.
Ugh.
Matt, you were like, I love it. And I'm like,
I love
okay.
it.
Well, fuck Perrin and his feelings, I guess.
That was a beautiful scene too. Like,
It
it
was.
gives so much depth to this world. Like, we get a burial ground for Perrin's family and the apple blossom seed in their hands when they're being buried. We also get like Elana talking about her mourning tattoos. It's nice to see that there's a richness, like diversity in the culture too in this world. And yeah, I just think it was beautiful. It was a really beautiful moment for both of them.
Yeah, I was a little, not perturbed. I was like, oh, so you're wearing Yvonne's ashes. Like, that's a little intense.
Yeah.
But I really loved what she said about the three of them losing Yvonne, or what her and Maxim losing Yvonne, and her line about like what the three of us had was different. We balanced each other. And it's a really good representation of polyamory.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just really well done.
There was some really very different depictions of grief. And healing from grief, or trying to heal from grief, because Alana, like all three of them, so Alana, Maxim, and also Perrin are in different stages of their grief, and are handling it and coping in very different ways. Like Alana is very clearly, she is trying to forge ahead. She is trying to find some new purpose. She is trying to find something to do. And Maxim cannot understand that. I don't think he can't move. He is still at the sort of broken place. Yeah, he's drowning. Exactly. And he is very much not okay. Like when Bane and Chiad were trying to get him to play Maiden's Kiss, I was like, will you please leave this man alone? Please leave this man alone.
Poor guy.
It's not dirt. It's the blood of the only man I've ever loved.
I was like, oh God, this is so sad. Jesus.
I did wanted to mention like the Alana's sentence about but when one half of a couple dies, the other one is left to grieve. When one of three departs, who owns that grief?
Yeah.
I thought that was a very sweet way of like saying that out.
Yeah.
And then later on, we get Maxim saying to Alana, I can feel that you feel nothing for Ivan.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, can I just give a shout out to Taylor Napier for his acting this season in these 3 episodes so far has been pretty great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The range. Such range.
Yeah. And it's so heartbreaking to see, because like that's very clearly not what's like that is not the case.
Mm-hmm,
like
right.
Alana very deeply cares, and is in fact shielding Maxim from that, like from what she is, all that she is feeling. But like, of course, to Maxim, that's how it would appear. It's just it's heartbreaking, because they're both so unbelievably sad.
And also, like, I think Maxim also have a lot of anger that they're in the Two Rivers now, and he doesn't understand why, because the only thing he wants to do is get revenge on Meandrine.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious about what are they doing here? We still don't have an explanation, and I'm curious what's going to be the explanation, because Alana must have a reason.
Yeah. Same.
So far, we don't have it.
Yeah.
Other than that, we met Fail.
Yeah.
And Lord Luck, but Lord Luck, we don't really see him so far. I like Fail.
I like her too.
I like her a lot.
Well, Mandarb.
Mandarb, yes. I was going to say, I'm like, I don't...
Mandarb, yes.
She wasn't Fael until later, but...
Yes.
I love that they kept the Mandarb thing.
Yeah, me too. I was hoping they would, because it's really funny. Like, the way, like, when she's like, I call myself Mandarb, and Perrin just laughing in this woman's face.
It was so rude of him.
He almost died.
And you can see after that, like, he realized that it was kind of rude of him, so he tries to, fix that, but it's not working, man.
Look, he came closer to death in that scene than he had come to death in the entire series to date.
The absolute, like, size difference between Perrin and Fail is alarming.
Yes. Because Fail is quite small. Like, the actress, she is tiny. I didn't realize how small she is. And I always forget how big Marcus Rutherford is. He is a big guy. Like,
yeah. It was, I think it was inside the episode that they mentioned something interesting about Fail and Perrin meeting, in the fact that in their first meeting, Perrin, who's been looking down all the time due to how big he is, actually has to look up to her because she's standing and he's sitting. And I like how they're playing with size differences and this kind of thing to express something.
Right.
And I just found it cute. And they also have a later scene, like at the end, about Fail being her name and meaning falcon, and how hunting is in her blood. I like that.
Yeah. What they're doing with Perrin's character and Perrin's arc is already better than a lot of what happens in the book.
Oh my god, yes.
Like, the direction that they're taking him in, it's just like, it's already better. I'm really, really liking it. He very obviously, like, he does not want to lead. He said a couple times he's not a leader. He's not a, like, lord, like, like, he's not any of those things, but he is still decisive. He is still making decisions, and he is still, like, he is able to make those choices when it's important, and that's a leader. He may not like being called that, but that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate.
I do think that book four is a stronger arc for Perrin, and we do see a lot of similarity in this episode with that arc, with, for example, Perrin wanted to turn himself in. That's something he was also considering in the book. I do love that two river folks were basically like, yeah, no, you're not going to do that. Like, what's the point? We are defending ourselves. And then right after that, they all go back to their farm, and Perrin is like, what are you going to do? The Trollocs are there. Don't you remember the Trollocs? Bell time.
Yes.
Yeah, Perrin definitely steps into being a leader there.
Yeah, which is excellent.
He's like, I am not a leader, and I'm going to prove it by being a leader.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, as Fail pointed out, he's telling everyone to stay here while intending to leave to get back the cousin, and is saying like, oh, it's gonna be fine or whatever, but it doesn't show that he has a plan yet, and that's something he's gonna have to consider. I'm curious what he's gonna do there.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I do appreciate that we got a little bit of Senbui, who is like,
I love that we got Senbui.
An all-time hater. He is always on that hater train. Like, that's just him, and I appreciate that.
Daisy Konga being like, so are you, Senbui, and if you don't shut your mouth, I'll tell you what.
Yes, exactly. It's excellent. It's so good. And also the reminder that the Two Rivers folk are stubborn as fuck. Like, that is it's a characteristic throughout all of them. They will not, they are, they are stubborn.
I loved Bane and Chiad trying to get Loyal to play Maiden's Kiss, and then asking Maxim, and Maxim just says, absolutely not.
Yes.
Yeah. And also we saw Dane Bornhall and Eamon Valda back. And also like Matt's mother, who's been captured with his two sisters. I still kind of like Dane in his, like, okay, he captures some people, that's not great, but he still refused to hurt them because he's like, yeah, I'm just interested in his Perrin, and those people have done nothing wrong. Valda is still kind of insane. I noticed he still cannot use his arm, and it's been like a year and a half since. So...
Oh yeah, his arm got permanently damaged, I think.
It got fucked up. Yeah.
I had not realized that in season 2.
Do we want to go to book spoilers now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Where do we want to start?
I want to talk about Elida's bracelet that she got from the Finn.
Oh my. Yes, she did get it from the Finn because there was a picture posted that said Ilfin bracelet. I was like, excuse me?
Whoops.
She saw the Finn?
Pardon?
When was that? Why? Is it what gives her foretelling?
This is the question. I don't know. It could be. Maybe.
Could be. I'm so curious about that. And whether we'll get any sort of flashback or something like that. We saw the red twisted door again with Matt being hanged.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be fun.
So he is going. Matt is going through the door. Like.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's happened too many times.
I'm hoping this season, but we'll see.
Yeah.
It has to be this season, I think.
I think so too. Yeah.
I would hope it's this. I don't know.
What else? Quick mention, but the Forsaken mentioned Naiblis and Ishi, and I'm still thinking Ishi is not dead. I don't know why. It's like
He's not.
Why are you Naiblis? Why aren't you Naiblis? Because the Dark One is mourning Ishamel, or maybe Ishamel is not dead yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I assume maybe the resurrection is going to take a little while to do in the books or in the show. Maybe it just takes a little while.
Yeah.
Or maybe Moradin is just working behind the scenes right now and hasn't been introduced. But we do have 7 of the 8 named Forsaken.
Yes.
We're only missing 1, presumably male.
Guessing Asmodean, maybe?
I'm guessing. That would make... I don't know. It could be Demandred. I could see it.
I mean, there was a little statue of a man with a guitar in season 1.
Yeah.
So it's Tom Maryland.
Tom Maryland Forsaken, confirmed.
Yeah. Or I was thinking, what if they actually do something with Luke, Lord Luke, and make him a Forsaken in disguise?
I mean, they could.
But it wouldn't be Asmodean.
No.
I mean, at least I wouldn't think it would be, because Luke does not give off Bard vibes.
Yeah.
No, I doubt it, yeah.
We did see a Tuathahan caravan in the Isle West, and I'm curious whether Asmodean could pass as a rescue from that caravan or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I would think.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. I like that.
Well, in the books, they're part of a merchant caravan, so...
Yeah.
But also Lanfear's there, so...
Yes.
Yeah. I'm kind of sad we haven't seen much Tuathahan so far this season, because Radiant is coming up next episode.
Mm-hmm.
And there is some big revelation regarding the Tuathahan and the Ails. And I'm curious whether it's going to be impactful for the viewers also or not.
Yeah, I think it's probably a conscious choice not to have any living Tuathan before Viridian, because it's for precisely that reason, because it's going to be so much more, it's going to pack so much more of a punch, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
People knowing now. What else? Can we talk about Varen for a second? Can we have a conversation about Varen for a second?
Are we talking about Varen and she never wondered who stabbed him?
Yeah.
Yeah, because in the books that's Shiriam who finds the gray man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's interesting that it's Varen now.
I mean, Shiriam is not in this season.
Yes.
For reasons we know that since season 2, there was too much to put in this season to have space for Shiriam.
Right.
I kind of don't mind that we get Varen, because in the books, Varen has other scenes that makes her a little bit suspicious that we didn't really get so far. Mm-hmm. So
right.
Yeah.
They haven't given us enough reason to be suspicious of Varen yet. And they are doing that now, which is important, because you need to have that tension all through the series of whose side is Varen on? You know? And I do appreciate that Nynaeve picks up on that, and she's like, actually, I don't trust her at all. Yeah.
I like that Elida tries to give Sutama a collar, and Sutama gives it back, and I'm like, that's because Elida gets collared at the end of the season, or end of the series.
Yep. Up.
Maybe.
Up.
I'm talking about Sutama. I'm curious whether she'll end up in Salidar. Because in Salidar there's no Red Sister, and I think it'd be interesting in the show to have some.
To do something different.
And they're already putting some conflict between Sutama and Elida. So maybe it could be someone we would see in the rebel camp.
So Tsutama is Liz Cheney.
Oh my god.
What?
Sure.
I don't even know who that is.
She's like one of the few Republicans who rebelled against Trump and lost her political career because of it.
Thomas Liz Cheney.
Okay.
What a sentence. Okay.
I love that we saw Galina, because Galina is important to us as the queers of time.
Yes. Yeah, she means something.
Because she tops.
That's right.
She tops.
But guess what?
And she's gonna learn to bottom.
She's gonna learn to bottom.
She's gonna learn to bottom.
She's going to learn the bottom.
Yeah, that's right.
I kind of love the tensions with the Red Ajah and like Swan and Liane.
Mm-hmm.
Because like in the books there's a like Egwene as an Amianin is very much a proponent that we should have all of the Ajahs working together, and Swan has a realization at some point that she did mess up a little bit with the tower, with creating more tension between the Red Ajah and the rest of the tower that like helped Elida with what she was trying to do, and like basically she broke a little bit the tower in advance. And I would like that realization to be also like noticed in the show later on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So watching everything unfold now with the tower, it's like watching a very slow car crash where like you're seeing everything sort of unfold and you're like, oh my god, like, but things are already in motion and there's nothing that anyone really can do right now to stop it, because it's too late. It's too late. Like, you have the Keeper of the Chronicles openly just like disrespecting the Reds in their own place. And
Yep.
oh god.
Yeah, it's great. It's great coup fodder.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, just talking about the coup, it's funny when we were watching season 2 and we were like, there's not a lot of setup yet for the coup. Maybe it's going to be hard to put everything in season 3. And I'm like, no, the coup could happen at any time right now.
Oh yeah, it could happen in episode. If we didn't know episode 4 was Ruidian, I was like,
oh yeah.
Could be next episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that Elida was like, can we keep this between us? And then it's the entire plot of the coup.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
It's just,
Also,
oh.
Elida's mentioning that the Queendom of Endor will play a key role in the last battle.
Uh-huh.
And you're like, which queendom are you talking about? Because Rand is Tigwen's son, and also Elida is going to play, not Elida, Elaine is also going to play a role in the last battle, and
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah.
I don't think you focus entirely your energy on everything that you were supposed to.
That's the thing, that's why when people kind of are like, oh, they're making Elida too competent, I'm like, I don't think they are. I think they're like, she is so laser focused, and she believes that she believes in the assumptions that she has made. She has built her life around it. She has made big choices around those assumptions, and she is not moving from them. She is plowing ahead. And yeah, she assumes that it's Morghese that she needs to be tied to.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I do think, going off of something else, I think Lanfear poses an interesting metaphysical question, which is like, if the Dark One is destroyed, can I escape my dark oaths? And I'm like, I don't know, can you?
That's a great question. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the question of whether we should destroy the Dark One at all, which is like the question of the last book.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say, I'm going to be a bit of a book cloak right now.
Uh-oh.
Sakarnan as a female Sa'angreal.
I know.
What's that?
Sakarnan is a male Sa'angreal in the
Yes.
books.
Very specifically a male male thing.
It's the one that Demandred uses in Shara. It's like the second most powerful from second to Kalendor.
What does it do?
It's just a Sa'angreal.
Yeah, see, the thing is that I can't care less about Demandren and Shara, so I couldn't care less.
I know. I'm just being a bit of a book cloak because I'm like, why'd they have to choose Sakarnan?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're allowed to not like certain things.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. Is there any other, like, is there any female Sa'angreal that has the same significance as Kalendor in the books?
No.
No.
Other than the Choden Call, no.
Yeah.
See?
And I assume that's why.
That's kind of why.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see why they did it. Yes. 100%.
Yeah. The last thing is that you wanted to talk about Bear and Amis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Bear and Amos. I didn't realize that they had already cast Bear, and then they didn't have room in the budget to cast Amos.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, well, that's unfortunate, because I assumed, because I was watching without subtitles and without the, what's it called, the X-ray. So I just assumed that was Amos. And then I watched it with the subtitles and the X-ray, and I was like, oh, it's Bear. And then I was like, what the fuck is happening?
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, they couldn't get all three, so, well.
That's all good.
Can we talk about Alana quickly? Because
I'm excited for Alana.
Oh boy, are they set. Alana is hanging by a thread right now. She is hanging by a thread. And she is on the verge of losing Maxim as well. And it makes seeing how everything has unfolded, what she is going to eventually do with bonding Rand makes so much sense.
Yeah.
It makes so much sense because this is going to break her.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny because I keep going back and forth on whether Maxine dies or not, because I've been surprised by how much press Taylor Napier is getting. And I'm like, that's weird to give him so much press if he's dying this season. But
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, I'm really curious.
I don't think he needs to die.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think he needs to die to push Alana over the edge. She's already there.
She's not.
I don't know.
I don't think she is.
She still has Maxim.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he needs to die for her to bond Rand, but that's just my opinion.
That's the question.
Yeah, Maxim and Alana right now really are not getting along.
No,
they're teetering.
Yeah, it's hard to see that. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's very sad. It's they're both so devastated by this, and they don't know how to. Because that's what Alana was saying. Like, Ivan was the balance for them. And they don't have that anymore. And so they don't even know how to balance each other. It's really sad. It's really, really sad. Oof.
No, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens, if it happens this season or if it'll happen next season. Or
Yeah, we'll see.
Anything else for book spoilers?
I don't think so.
All right, well, thank you so much for listening to this episode of The Queers of Time. We loved having you listen, and we're looking forward to talking about episode 4, where we talk about Ruidian. If you'd like to follow us, we're on all of the socials. If you'd like to give us a little bit of money, we're on Patreon. You can get advanced episodes. You can get videos of us, unedited videos of our recordings. We also have a Discord where we talk about everything and talk about just fun things throughout the day. There's always something going on there. So thank you so much for listening. Bye.
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 Thank you all for listening. This was Queers of Time, a Wheel of Time podcast. The music is Dance of the Witches by Julius H.